Hello everybody, welcome back to Karidoesstuff. Welcome back to my model bench. Today I managed to fix the slideshow, so I hope you saw the close-up photos of the engine which I was talking about and which I was doing the other day, and the paintwork on the bodywork itself. So today I'm just going to carry on with some polishing of the car, of the bodywork. I've done a bit of that off camera. Yeah, I done a bit of that off camera the other day. So I'm just going to finish up with that. Really, just going to be a nice simple stream of just me polishing the car. It's really not a lot to it, really. I think you've seen me do that before with the Mini. This one's a little bit different because some of the parts aren't connected to the car. Aren't connected to the bodywork just yet, so they're going to need polishing separately. The hood isn't like attached, and nor the rear vents or the valances either, so they're going to need to be done separately. So I'm just going to try and do that today. Just settle down and pop out some polishing. I guess it's going to be nice and simple. All right, so let's head over to the main bench. Alright, well that's my thingies. Alright, so let's just get some light on the subject, I suppose. Alright, so here we are with the car so far. Now, what I've got so far is I've sanded down the gloss coat. It's nice and smooth. I used the 600 and then I used 7000 grit and got that nice and smooth. There are some parts of it that sure still got a few issues with, but they're not a great deal. I've then polished up with coarse and most of the medium. So we're going to try up with the medium polish on this side. The other side's been done. Then we're going to do with the fine, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the extra parts, which are these parts. They have to be sanded and then polished, because they're a bit orange peely. So we're going to do those, and it's just going to be a nice, simple, relaxing polishing situation. But as you can see, the decals turned out quite nice, and they look like an integral part of the paintwork, even though they are decals. I really made sure I went over it with enough coats of gloss paint in order to be able to make those decals look as though they are. Let's just see if we can get close up to it. There you go. You can see the light shimmering off of them like that. They really are parts. They really look as though they've been painted on rather than just decals. They look awesome. I'm pretty pleased with those. So we're just going to carry on and the medium polish on this side, and then we're going to go down to the fine. I've made sure my gack. There we go. I've made sure my Dremel tools are nicely charged, so I will turn off my mic when I do those because they are quite noisy at times, so you don't want to be hearing that. So we're just going to get some of this polish on this rag here and just work on this side. That's what we're going to do today. This is polishing compound. There's not really much to say. You just sort of put it on and just work it around in little circles and whatnot, just to polish it up. But see what difference this makes when I come to do the sanding of the other parts. So I'm kind of doing this a bit backwards at the moment. You'll see me doing the polishing before you see me do the sanding, which is not really how it should be done. But this doesn't need sanding, obviously. But when I come to do the hood and the other parts, so you just got to work this in all the nooks and crannies. Make sure it gets all in. I like to do a pass by hand first. Now I've worked out. Before I do a machine pass. I do sort of one edge. Instead of doing the whole car at once, I'll do one side and then I'll machine coat it. No, machine polish it. Hand polish it, then machine polish it. And then when that's done, I'll do the next part of the car. So I just want to, as you can see, the polish sort of goes into liquid. There we go. Just try and get as much as I can with the finger. Just sort of rub it all off. It's looking shiny at the moment because it's wet, because the polish sort of liquefies as you use it. I guess it's done the heat, I don't know, but whatever way, it just liquefies. Right, now we're going to put another coat on there, and this time it's going to be machine polished. So we're just going to get it on there. Again, try and get it in all the nooks and crannies. Maybe I'm using a bit too much there. So now this stuff splatters around like crazy, so you might see stuff flying towards the camera or whatnot when I've got the polish on it. So I mean, you don't want to use too much so that it comes off as like a big, it starts flying around all over the place, but you want to use enough that, you know, you get a good finish on it. So I'm just dabbing it on there. Right, we're going to turn the mic off because you don't want to be subjected to that noise, because it can be quite noisy. See don't need that. So I'm going to turn the mic off and you could just watch what Okay, that's that side done. Let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. All right, so I've got splattered a bit on me there. Right, so that is actually the medium done on this car entirely. Like I say, I've done most of that the other day. So we're going to just put that to one side for now. I just want to cut this corner off because it's wet. Cut the corner off of this. Throw that away. Perfect. Oh, goop all over me. Alright, just try and cut that off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to... Oh, that's not properly screwed on either. There we go. Now we're going to go over to the fine. So these come in 3 cans, as you can see, coarse, medium, and fine. I've already used the coarse, so we're going to use the fine. I'm also going to need to change out the pad for a fine pad. Yeah, that's good. Right, this stuff should be even wetter. Oh, lighter work. There you go. So this stuff should be even wetter. Let's check this out. Oh, excuse me, that went down the wrong way. Let's have a drink. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. That was disgusting, I'm sorry. Anyway. Right, so next up we're going to apply. So you just wrap a finger in the cloth like that. And we're going to start with the roof. Now this stuff is a lot wetter. It's a lot less viscous. You just sort of rub this in. Let's go for it. Okay, that's looking good. It'll eventually start to disappear as the more you work it. Which is good. Alright, there we go. I think it's pretty much all of it gone. So we're going to coat it again. Now this time it's quite slippery to get on there. So I'm going to try and coat it. And then we're going to machine polish it this time. So again, I'm going to turn off the mic. And we're going to use a softer, finer polishing sponge. And we go from there. All right. Okay, that's come up real nice. That's a real nice polish on it. I can see my face. So let's just zoom in on that. Now I don't know if you can see how good that looks. It's a real nice shine. That's just the roof. You can tell the difference between that and the trunk. But that, I'm pretty pleased with that. That looks great. Yeah, I really do like that. Wow. I love this. Polishing is really good. It's one of those jobs that you do that you start to you see a great difference in what you're actually doing. You know, it's messy, sure, but you can really get that sense of it comes together when you're doing the polishing. All right, this stuff is difficult to work in because it's fine. It's very liquidy. Come on, baby. Work your way in there. Work your magic. Let's put some on the rear boot lid. You can see what's going on here. Right, now we're going to put on another coat of this to be, it seems as though it's come off the stand. Right. Come on. The fine stuff is a lot harder to use because it's waxier and it's kind of wetter. It doesn't really come off the rag easily. But right, so again, mic's going to go off while I polish this up. Okay, let's just check the shine on that boot lid. And already I can see. Oh, that's looking great. That looks great. I don't know if you can see that. I might even be able to see the camera in there. I don't know. Yes, very shiny. Right. Now we're going to move on to the right-hand side. Now this is the side that the car is going to be displayed on. So while I want the car to obviously look good all over, I do take a special interest in making sure that, you know, like, you could say, oh, you don't want to turn around and say, well, I don't need to bother with that side because no one's going to see it. Of course not. But when mistakes happen, you say, oh, thank goodness that's not quite on that's not on the side that's going to be displayed as easily. So I try to make the whole car perfect, but I do like to make sure that the side that is displayed is ultra perfect. You know. Alright, we're just working this in. It's going in quite nice. Now we're just going to coat it up ready for the machine coat. Come on, get on there. That's it. Okay. Again, mic's going off while I polish.
And Joanna said, yeah, I just saw a German comedy show. Putin who upset the Pope and Pornhub is usually happy about every wanker.
The hell was that? Is my Discord still active? Sorry about that. So I'm going to check to see if my Discord is still active. Yeah, it is. In process. Oh, I do apologise. Yeah, our Discord decided it was going to shout abuse at me for some reason, but never mind. Anyway, try again. Carry on. Okay, well that's that side done. Oh, that's looking great. Nice shine on there. Brilliant. Loving that. Right, now we've got to do the front wings. I'm not too worried about inside the engine bay. It's not going to be too polished. It's already going to be shiny enough as it is with the gloss coat diamond finish on it, but I haven't polished it. I haven't sanded it or polished it in there. And it's not because it's not going to be seen, but I just don't think that much care is usually taken inside the engine bays. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be shiny, but not as shiny as the main bodywork, which I think is what you usually find anyway. Right, so now we're just going to put on another coat to machine coat it. Machine polish, sorry. Got to make sure it's nice and shiny. Okay, again, mic's going off. Okay, let's check that out. Yeah, that's not bad. That's nice and shiny. I could do with a bit more actually. Hang on. Okay. Oh yeah, much better. Right, I'm not sure if you're seeing much of a difference on the camera, but you should be able to now. There we go. Now we've just got this one side left to go. And then we can get to the other extra body parts. So I just want to there we go, just putting in this and this. Polishing does take time for sure, but it really brings the bodywork together. And seeing as the bodywork is the first thing that anyone sees before they even look in the engine bay or look at the interior, you really want it to sort of stand out and be like, you know, wow, that looks almost real, you know? You want it to look like someone's put this in a car show, looked after it. That's essentially what it is. It's like a big display of cars, you know, concourse cars, collector's cars. It's your garage. It's your collection of classic and expensive sports cars. So you want that bodywork to shine. Right, now we do a coat for the machine polish. Make sure it sticks on there. Okay, again, going to turn off the mic and go ahead and polish. Right, I think that's about it. Let's have a look. Let's just check. Oh, yes. Very shiny. Now, the other thing is, of course, I think that's enough on this particular Dremel. It's running out. So, take that out. Put this one back on charge. Then you can go to sleep. And then we get this one out. Right, now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to turn my mic off, and I'm just going to go over the whole car. Just, I mean, as you can see, there's splats all over it. So I'm just going to go over the whole car and just give it another once over. So. Right, well, I seem to have lost that. I seem to have lost my doodad. Let's see if I can find it. Where did you go? Is that you? No, that's not you. Where did that go? Oh, I've lost the sponge. The sponge flew off. I don't see where it's gone. It hit the wall. Oh my god. Is that it? Jesus, it flew halfway across the room. I don't know if you saw there, but I dropped the Dremel and it just went spinning out of control. Alright, let's try and put that on properly and carry on regardless. Right, we can edit that out, I'm sure. Right, back again. Okay, that's much better. Right, okay, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to put this on charge. So we're going to fill that up. I've got rid of a lot of the dry polish and whatnot that's on there, but most of that will have to come off later on. And the way I do that is I run it under a cold tap and brush it with one of those children's My First toothbrushes. They're really soft, but they still get into all the recesses and get out all these dry bits of polish. But I'm gonna have to wait for them to dry for that. But so far, you can see the shine on it. Oh look, you can even see like the mirror reflection on it. That's real good. So if you look at the roof, yeah, you can see how shiny that is. I'm pleased with that. I'm very proud of that. I can see my ugly face in there too. So that's a good thing. Anyway, so we're going to put that to the side for now, and we're going to take the cloth here, and we're going to cut off that wet bit. You don't need that no more. Just cut off this whole bit here. Don't need that. These are lint-free polishing cloths that I get from Zero Paints. The same place I get these from. Right, so that's that. Grab a bit of tissue and let's try and wipe up some of this gack. Once I've done polishing, I usually try and clean up as much as I can because this stuff gets everywhere. I mean, I don't know, you can't see it, but my shirt is just covered in white splotches where it just splatters everywhere. I will leave you to insert your own jokes there. Right, I think it's time for a cigarette. I rolled a whole bunch of them. Okay, so now we've got these 5 parts on here. We've got the hood, 2 of the valances, and the air intakes here. So these are going to get sanded down. Let's just take a look at the hood, for example. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, you can. If you look, there is where the shine is, you can see where there's a orange peel kind of effect on the paintwork. That's not good. But that's all right because we should be able to get rid of that, or most of it. Even running your fingers over it, you can feel it. You could definitely feel it. So the way we get rid of that is we sand it, wet sand it. And I have to get my sandpaper out now. Find my sandpaper. Here we go. That's the reason I put on quite a heavy coat of diamond finish, because you can sand it back and get rid of a lot of that orange peel. Now, I found that the reason that comes out is because I spray the paint too thick. Now, however you spray it, however thinly you spray it, I believe you're still going to get some. So in order to make a nice shine and a nice finish, you still have to sand it. It's just the way it goes. I learned that when I was doing the Porsche. That's when I first learned the sanding. That's not my sandpaper. What happened to all my sandpaper? What did I do with all my sandpaper? Oh, it's underneath all the... There it is. Got trays of polishing compound out, so it's all under that. Right. So we're going to start off with... That's the 7,000 that I use at the end. So we're going to start off with some 900, I think. Now 900 is quite coarse, so you have to be careful, because the last thing you want to do is go all the way through the gloss coat, the diamond coat, and actually start taking off paint and decals. That would be the worst thing to happen. I have done that, and even on this car I've taken off a little bit of the paint on some of those pointed edges. But it's not too noticeable, and it's easily touched up with a bit of gloss black. It's just a couple of streaks. So we're just going to sand this down. Well, there is to it really, just a bit of wet sandpaper, a bit of water. Just sand it. You can see the white gloop, white liquid that's appearing. That is basically water mixed with the fine diamond coat. I'm not too worried about these bonnet pins, because I'm going to be painting those chrome later anyway. You want a nice smooth finish. Try and get up in all these edges here. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I can't really bring it up too high. Obviously the hood is one of the most important parts of the car, so you want it to look good, or as good as you can get it. I'm just going to do a bit of sanding on in here. Alright, now I'm going to clean it off and check to see if it's universally, see if we can see any high spots, or low spots rather. That's not too bad. There's some towards there's a few that need to be taken care of, like especially at the back here. So I'm just going to sand those in. Some more on the, you can see a few. Essentially they want the whole thing to be universally dull. So if you see any shiny parts, you want to sand them out. I'm going to turn that bit of paper around. Some here. And just a smidge of water on there should do the trick. It's tough to see, I know, on camera, but you know, once I got it, I'll show it to you closer up. There's still some bits on the main air intake, so we just more of a... Right, let's just dry it off. Right, so as you can see, there are some, it's no longer as shiny as it once was. It's a bit dull, but there are still some shiny spots that I want to try and get rid of. So we just keep going. Again, like I say, not too bad. Just keep looking at it, see what you can see. Now, to me, the hood was one of the worst that was badly coated with orange peel. So I was expecting to have to do a lot of sanding on it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Now you could use an even coarser sandpaper, but you've got to be careful, because like I say, you don't want to work through the diamond coat. I mean, using a coarser sandpaper will get you there faster, but it'll also mean you could get to the point where it's done and pass it and then start scraping at paint. Something you don't want to do. So I prefer to stick to like a 900 for the first sand. Now that's not too bad. There's still some areas that could do with a bit, like around the back here. So we're just going to put a bit more water on there and just try and sand these off. Oh, see, I've done it. I've gone through the. You can see there. I might be able to see this bit just here where my fingernail is pointing. I have just gone through there because it's an edge. So that means no more sanding on that part. That's done. So now I've got to be careful of that entirely. So I think we're pretty much. Oh, I've gone through a bit more in there as well. I think we're pretty much done here now for this. I'm not going to do the inside or the underside of it because that looks alright as an underside of a hood, honestly. Yeah, sure, it's a bit orange peely. It's not too bad, but you wouldn't expect that to be sanded and whatnot. So now we get some 7000. This is basically like sanding it with just paper almost. It's not quite that smooth, but 7000, and this just smooths off what you've just done. So there we go. We just want to smooth that off. There we go. Okay, let's just check that out, try it off. Now I'm going to check it out with the light. There are a couple of high spots on there, or a couple of low spots I should rather say, but they're not too bad. Once the polish goes through, you shouldn't be able to see them too badly. So that's the hood done. That's the hood. We're gonna have a look at these bumper pieces now. Ooh, ooh. Okay, well they do need a bit, so we're just gonna work on those just a bit. They're not too bad. So I can just as we just sand these down with another 900. Again, you don't want to sand it down too much. You don't want to break through the finishing coat. Finishing coat on corners is usually a bit thin, so be careful with that. So don't try and focus on corners too much. Let me just check to see what that looks like in the... Yeah, it's just a couple of bits down here that need doing. Could do with a bit more on there. Okay, so now we're gonna... That wasn't too bad. There wasn't too much orange peel on there. So now we're just going to smooth it off with the 7000. And dry it off again. And that's universally dull. Great. That's what we're after. Universal dullness. Oh, it's hard work on the old fingers, though, I have to say. Now, if you have managed to spray it perfectly well, you don't necessarily need to sand it. So I'm thinking these air intakes, these side air intakes, which are, I don't even believe are actual air intakes, but anyway, faux air intakes, I think they've been sprayed up quite nice. Right, take a look at this one. Yeah, that's a bit bumpy in places, so let's just work on this one. Again, watching out for the corners. You don't want to put too much focus on the corners. Right, this one needs still a bit more. Getting there, smoothing it out nicely. That one was pretty good. So we're just going to smooth these off with a 7000. couple of low spots, but again, not a huge issue. Okay, now let's take a look at these. So yeah, I think these are okay. There's no orange peel there. I don't know though. So I'm just going to sand the top of them, I think. Yeah, see, there's a bit of a low spot there. So we want a nice, crisp, light line. So when you look at it in the light, it's got to be a nice, crisp, straight line cutting through the paintwork. It's a good shine then. Yep, that'll do. Oh, 7,000. Yeah, great. Okay, just this one to do. How are we doing on this one? Yeah, the light isn't quite as crisp as I'd like it. So we're just going to sand it down. Try and flatten it out. It's a lot trickier with these smaller parts, that's for sure. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. That one didn't take a lot of work. Just going to sand that back to 7,000. Brilliant. Right, so those are ready. We can put the sandpaper away now. Okay. I'll carry on smoking for a little bit. First one to do is going to be the hood. So let's just dry off this bench. We're coming up to 1 hour and 20 minutes, so it's not too bad. It's well within my concentration range. What is the time now? 7 o'clock. Okay. So it shouldn't be too long doing these. So we're going to take the coarse one out first for a spin. Find a corner. There we go. It's kind of just like polishing your own car, just on a very smaller, meticulous level and with different polishing compounds. Same kind of actions apply, and it does the same thing. What it's doing is it's sanding, essentially. Because the smoother something is, the shinier it is. So if you get something real smooth, it'll be real shiny. So this is essentially what it's doing. It's just sanding at different levels of grit. But sandpaper can't go as fine as the compound can. Right, so now we're going to put on a coat for the machine coat. Now I've got to be careful when I come to machine this, because I don't want to take out too much of the edges, because again they're already very thin with polish, so we don't want to take them out. One of them's already taken out the decal on the edge there. Hey Diamond, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm just about to turn off my mic as I do a bit of polishing here, so feel free to just watch. Right, okay, here we go. Okay, I was using the wrong, so I need to use the right. I need to use the orange sponge, and the fact that it flew off like it did showed me I was using the wrong sponge. Okay, so let's try that again. All right, here we go. Okay, that's quick. But already I can see a nice shine starting to come up on that, and it's smooth as well. So that's how good the sandpaper works on it, and that's why I'm so glad that I decided to start sand. See, because I'll just see the shine coming in. It's not as crisp as it will be when it's finished, but the shine is coming in there. Okay, so now we work on one of the bumpers. I can't remember if this is front or back. It looks like it's a rear bumper, rear valance. So we're gonna do that. Let's just put it in here like this. And do this by hand to start with, like I say. Do a hand coat, and then we do a machine coat. It's gloopy stuff. I hope you're doing alright, Diamond. It's good to see you. Sorry to hear about your trip to the hospital the other day, but I'm glad everything's okay. It's never nice. Okay. Doing good now. Good to hear it. Yeah, you'll be worried there for a second. I didn't get your message until after I finished streaming, and I was streaming for like 9 hours yesterday with Duana, and I thought, oh, that's all right. Then I checked Discord. I was like, oh my god. I'm glad you're okay though. Okay, so now I'm going to just put on a coat for the machine. I don't mind using too much of this either. It's alright. Okay, mic is going off. Alright, and that's looking better as well. Nice. These bits don't take that long to do, but you just have to do them 3 times. So it's a bit of a pain, but still. Right, so we've still got some on here, so let's keep going with the... I think this is the front bumper? Nope, this is the rear bumper, I think. Oh, well, I mean... Sure we'll find out at some stage when I come to put it together. Well, you better hope you find out before I come to put it together. Be a bit difficult if I didn't know which one this was, but it shows on the instructions, so it'd be fine. I think this is the rear, like I say. No, this is front. Yeah, this is who knows? Front, back, front, back, front, back. Who knows? All right, so we're just polishing this. Right, now we're going to put some on here for the Dremel. Okay, mic coming off. Okay. Yeah, shine is getting there. Oh yeah, nice crisp shine of light. That's good. Starting to get crisper anyway, but it'll get crisper as I apply more and more of these polishing compounds. Okay, so now we do the I got to do these. Now these, I don't think it's going to take too much to polish these, to be fair. These little air intakes. Just a dab on there for the Dremel. You see your fingers just get covered. Right, hang on, mic going on. So we're not actually going to use the Dremel on these because there's been an accident. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that, but on the edge there, the paint's come off and it's now showing the plastic. So that can happen with the Dremel. So I'm just going to hand polish the other one. This is going to be able to be fixed. It's not a problem. I'm going to have to paint that. I don't see a huge issue with that. Just need to sand it down and do that. But that's something I'm going to be doing at a later time. These things always happen. Don't worry. I'm not worried. But I won't be using the Dremel tool on something so fine. So we're just going to be using the hand polisher here on the next one. Part is a bit too delicate to use anything else on. Also, it's not a major part, so it's not going to stop me from continuing to build the rest of the car. So what I can do is I can sand it back, spray it, and finish it off even while the rest of the car is being done. So that's not a huge problem. And even if the car's finished, I can stick it on later. So I'm not too worried about it. Accidents happen. You have to live and learn. You think, all right, well, some parts you can't do with a Dremel tool, and that's fine. It's just the way it goes. I mean, it's certainly not as shiny. So we can give it a bit of a wax on, wax off. Maybe I could just do it lightly on the top. Just there we go. Just a quick one. No, that's polish. It's not. Just not as fast. Because you can set the speed on the Dremel, so I set the speed to much lower. That works. So, and I can see it's got a much better, a crisper line of light there. So that means I'm going to not have to polish the other one for now until I've repaired it. So that's one less thing to do. So now we're going to use the medium polish. Cut the corner off of here again because I don't want to use that coarse anymore. There we go. Just cut that off and get rid of that. Now it's time for the hood. Go back to the hood again. I'm going to use a slower speed on all of these parts because that sort of taught me a lesson. I want to be a bit careful. So we're going to use a slow speed with the Dremel on these. Just doing a little polish in here. Make sure the front is nice and polished. Okay, now we're going to need a new sponge on this one. This one is a yellow sponge we need. So here is a yellow sponge. Make sure it's on there nice and firm. And we're only going to put it on. Okay, so yellow doesn't want to stick either. Maybe it's just too fast entirely, so. Alright. Right, mic off. Okay, that's great. I'm starting to see a mirror in that now. Starting to very slowly see the mirror come out. So that's that. Alright, now do this. More polishing. We're nearly done. We're nearly done here, but this is the part that really sort of makes the car look like a real car. When it starts to shine and polish. Right. Okay. Oh, no, I need to put a bit more on it for the machine. Okay, mic going off. Alright, that's that bit done. Now for this one. just hand polishing it. Oh, I'm going to have to wash my hands completely after this. I've got all this white goo all over them. Okay, I know. There's a joke in there somewhere, I'm sure. Okay. So, just a bit for the machine. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're looking good, I think, here. Yep, excellent. So now we've just got to do that one air intake, because the other one is need of repair. So we're just going to do this one now. And then we're going to go on to the fine. Now, oh, I spoke before that, but the fine is the one that should bring out a nice polish, nice finishing polish. Oh, these bits are so tiny. Right, so let's just put the machine on that quickly. Okay, thanks. Sorry, Diamond, I was The microphone was down, but it hadn't quite turned itself on, so thank you for that. I was saying, I'm having a bit of a break because my back's hurting at the moment before I go on to do the last coats. But this car is looking shiny. You can even see the reflection of the brackets that's holding up my webcam in it, which is pretty sweet. So, very shiny. I'm impressed. Alright, let's finish off these 4 parts. Then let's put the car to one side for now. Right, so now we're going to use fine. So let's grab the fine. There we go. Fine goop. And polish up the hood. Yeah. Do a hand pass with it first, then a machine pass, and then that should be that done. Did a few little bits of orange peel type in there, but it's generally fine. I should have probably sanded down the hood a little bit more during the paint process just to smooth it off, but live and learn. I will remember that next time. I thought that the diamond coat was going to take out any of those imperfections. It did most of them, but where the decals laid on them, they highlighted them. So I should have really sanded down the paintwork just a smidge. But anyway, right, mic going off. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's a nice glassy finish. That'll look extra special once it's cleaned and waxed. Right, back to this one. We're nearly done here, folks. Nearly done. Okay, right now we'll just do a machine on that one. Okay, so let's check the shine on that. Oh yeah, very nice. It's really picking out the metallic in there now. Which is probably something you won't be able to see on camera, but I'm just going to wipe my hands. I'm just getting covered in gunk. Covered in gunk. Right, it's so close. All right. Another one here to do. Right, that's the hand polish done. Now we'll just put some more of this on here. Okay, machine time. Okay, again another good polish. Now just the last part here. Oops, stay down. That nearly fell over. Just this part to go now. Here we go. Just machine it. Okay, that's looking. Oh, that looks real good, and the metallic in it. I don't know. Let's see if we can focus it. Back here. Nice shine on there. Okay. Just gonna screw this up. Okay, put my Dremel on charge. Cut off this wet bit in the corner. And grab some tissue to clean my hands with. I'll wash those in a second. Okay, let's do a bit of chatting. Okay. Hi. Right, so that is my polishing done for today. As you can see, that took nearly 2 hours, and the car was nearly done. The car was practically finished. It was just that one side of fine coat that needed to be fine polish that needed to be done, and then that was done. So you can see how long it takes to actually polish the car. I mean, it took what, 2 hours to put all the decals on it last time. It took what, 2 hours to do all the paint work, 2 hours to do the. So you can see how they add up, and how it takes so long to put one of these together. So far we have a nice looking Mustang here, with the gold stripes on it. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's not showing it so well on that camera. But what I've got to do now is I've got to wait for all the excess polish to dry, because then it turns into kind of like a powder. And then I run it under the tap. And I use a child's, one of these, my first toothbrush. They're very soft, because mostly they're designed to for kids' gums. So they're very soft, but they'll get into all the hard to reach areas and get out all that dry polishing compound once it's all dried off. Once that's done, I then apply a coat of wax. I will give it a once over with a lint-free cloth to try and get rid of any water stains, water smears, and then I wax it. And I have, where did I put it? Trying this new wax polish from Zero Paints. Again, there's all sorts of links if you follow the links, and that'll tell you where to get that from. I was using Splash wax, which is, I mean, as far as I was concerned, it was really good stuff. But it's a different product from the paints and the polishing I was using. So I was using Zero Paints, but Splash wax. So I thought, hey, let's just give zero wax a go and see what that's like. So I'm going to be using that. I haven't even opened it, so I don't even know what it's like. But once it's been waxed, it should really look really good. Then it should really shine. And then I need to let that dry, obviously, and then it's time to do the rest of the instructions. Do whatever else the instructions tell me. The engine, as you saw in, well, you did see it, Diamond, but if at the beginning of the stream there was a slideshow, and that showed the I actually managed to get it working, and that showed how far I got along with the engine. So if you want to check that out, just when you rewatch this stream, just head back to the beginning, and it will show you how the engine's turned out. It doesn't look as good on webcam, so those pictures are there. Or they're also on my blog. So follow my blog by typing in exclamation point model, and that will take you to my blog, and that will show you what I've been up to. Well, I think that's it for my model bench for today. I'm now going to tidy myself up because I'm covered in white splats. Clean my glasses because it's like looking for a fog at the moment. Take a break. And then I will be doing some streaming of some games. Now, I'm not entirely sure what game I'll be streaming. Possibly Astroneer, because Duana's online and she wants to play some more Astroneer. Hopefully later on today, I will be doing some more Red Dead with my newbie friends. But if not, then you look forward to a Astroneer stream. Don't worry, I know I've started many games and I haven't finished many games on this stream, but I'll get round to them when I feel like it. So yeah, just don't miss out. But again, thanks again for joining me today. It's been 2 hours, and like I said, I don't like to go to more than 2 or 3 hours on my model bench because then I start to lose concentration, my back starts to hurt, bending over and stuff. So that's as far as I go. So again, what is this mark on? Oh, it's a shadow. Oh. It's like there's a brown mark on my face. No, it's a shadow. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, we'll be doing a bit more of my Mustang. Hopefully it'll be clean and ready to wax. So until then, thanks very much. Bye.